Attention Town Hall 10 players, we have strategies coming up that you may not have thought of, and we will be teaching you exactly how you can use these in order to help yourself get a 3-star attack. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this. We have 4 attacks on display for you, and each of these are very unorthodox. They use strategies which you wouldn't necessarily think of, but this video should be good to give you some ideas out of the box that you might find useful against them tricky bases. In the first one, we use P.E.K.K.A. and Witches. Let's pause for a brief second to explain why. Notice on the outside of the base, we have all of the point defense pretty much, meaning that we've got to commit enough troops in order to take that out. The base is very spread out. We can't just push heavily into one area. So taking a kill squad to come down either side is useful, and a P.E.K.K.A. and Witches work really well because they target any building. They can sweep from one side to the other. The P.E.K.K.A. is a tank style troop but also does damage, and the Witches can be well protected. So you can think of this as 2 kill squads. You use one on one side, one on the other, and notice the inside of the base. Because all of the point defense is spread out, there's really not that much in the center that we have to worry about. So we really don't have to send that big of a kill squad into the middle. We're committing quite a lot to the outside. We don't need to send too much into the middle. The Wall Wrecker, a couple of Witches alongside the heroes is sufficient, but most of the spells will be used there as well. The Wall Wrecker provides access through the base. It gives us access to one of the multi-infernos, and whilst traditionally you should try and get access to them both, the Wall Wrecker is not quite going to give us access to the second multi, but we can easily reach across the wall to it with the Archer Queen. By the way guys, if you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell for daily educational Clash of Clans videos. Now the Wall Wrecker is able to power all of the way through the base here. Now the Rage and Heal in the army composition was for the bowlers which are about to pop out of this. If you can use a Rage and a Heal combination for the bowlers, it can be incredibly powerful when they are in the base itself. And I believe they were meant for the multi-inferno, but since the Queen was well protected, it did not make sense to use that Rage and Heal on the bowlers. Might as well use it on the Queen where the defenses are. And because we used the 3 channels of attack, one either side, one through the middle, because the base was so spread out, it led to us being able to overwhelm it with this strategy. But the other ones coming up, especially the next one, are equally impressive by Toxic Rabbits. And if you're interested in joining us, be sure to join my Discord server to find everything you need to know. The second attack of this video is a Lalo Slash dragon attack. Definitely something that you don't really see very often, but again it depends on the base design. It's really part of just breaking down areas of the base. What can you take advantage of? Every base has a weakness. You can't defend against everything, and really Clash is trying to take down the base as effectively as possible. You don't always have to use a traditional strategy. Now for this one, the one thing that you might notice straight away is that the air sweepers all point to the northwest of the base, whilst the air defense are mainly towards the opposite side of the base. So if we can push into that air defense early, you take down the dangerous defenses, but also we don't have the sweepers to deal with. So that is exactly what we are doing. But with dragons, think about it very similar to miners. You've got to create the funnel. So the king and queen are able to take out this side of the base. Queen able to reach that air defense is brilliant. And then we have the slammer able to get onto another air defense, meaning that the dragons can come straight in between the remaining 2. pretty good for that one, guys. You just have to use your spells appropriately. Now, whenever you are going to get good tankage, you know the Lava Hound is going to be kind of pinned onto an air defense in front of the dragons. It's always good to use that. So whilst the Lava Hound is in front of the dragons, they don't take a lot of damage, and the Rage Heal combination, similar to what we mentioned in the last attack of that of the bowlers, works very well for the dragons. But here is the exciting part. When the Stone Slammer came in, it was basically taking fire from the air defense, but once it went down, we had the Lava Hound, or we have the dragons there as well, meaning that the balloons are pretty well protected, the sweepers are out of the way, and it has clear pathing for the balloons just to go from one defense to the next, to the next. It's really just a case of powering through with the spells, and they have just so much power. If you can get them on top of a defense, they will one-shot it. So the fact that we can clone the balloons, which is going to tie into the next attack as well, is brilliant to just flush out the base and mean that the dragons can really just maintain their fire through. Now, as you are taking out the defenses with the balloons, it then makes it easy to just bring in cleanup troops. You can always use the balloons to take out defenses and maintain pathing for the dragons, but in this case, we had so many of them, and the sweepers being poorly placed on this base design means that we were able to just push straight behind them. But again, as a defender, you can't defend everything, so sometimes it's trying to second guess your opponent as well, potentially even trip them up. And if you do have a scout attack, that's where you can really then take advantage of this as well. You know where the traps are, you know what the CC troops are, you should then have a better plan in terms of getting the 3-star. But let's move to the next attack. Now, this attack really is phenomenal, and it's something that people forget about at Town Hall 10. Like we mentioned, all of the attacks in this video are by Toxic Rabbits. This is our MLCW matchup against TD Perseverance. TD are going to get the victory in this one, but a very well fought out war between both clans. Now, the Electron strategy is one that I feel is often forgot at Town Hall 10, and the main reason I think that is because people think that for the Electron you have to clone the E-Drag, and at Town Hall 10 you can't clone the Electro Dragon, you can only clone the balloons. However, it can still work, as long as you can get into an area of the base where you can get good value. One thing you need to look at is the sweepers. So 1 points to the south, 1 points to the northwest. Coming in from the east, as you can see, the Stone Slammer, therefore makes perfect sense. We should be able to carve out a lot of this area of the base, and notice what is in there. The Archer Queen. So the Electro Dragon inside the Stone Slammer is the one troop to take out the Archer Queen. We clone the loons, which spread out around this area, and because there's no sweeper under Rage, they can get brilliant value. Look at that E-Drag. Chains the Archer Queen, also helps with the defenses, and then Maz, not messing around here, starts with the Lalo from the bottom of the base, meaning that the E-Drag is protected. Whenever you can do that and you can protect your kill squad, go for it, guys. Once that troop has created sufficient pathing, just try and protect it. The E-Drag here is therefore going to be able to take out some trash building, going to be able to help chain onto a couple of other defenses as well, and the Electron is something that you really shouldn't forget about at Town Hall 10. Now, the Stone Slammer was used in this case. You can use the Battle Blimp, however, in my opinion, at Town Hall 10, because you're cloning the balloons and you only have the one E-Drag, I often find that the Stone Slammer is a better option. But let me know your opinion down in the comments. Obviously, this strategy is one that is dependent on the siege machine, unfortunately. The other strategies, you can get away without them, but clearly, guys, I'm not going to lie, it is going to be more difficult if you don't have a Town Hall 12 to donate the siege, but definitely still something you should be able to get done. A 6-pack in this war, but the spells that are swagged at the end of this one is incredible as well. By the way, guys, if you want to see more Town Hall 10 attacks, I do have a Town Hall 10 playlist, which is on my YouTube homepage, but I will be sure to send you across to a video we did recently highlighting 7 different Town Hall 10 attack strategies after this attack. Now, the miners, similar to the Electron, are often overlooked at Town Hall 10, but the mass miners works incredibly well. The main way that you want to do this is with your king on one side and your queen on the other. King starts out on the left hand side, queen is then going to come in on the right hand side here, and that is going to create pathing for the miners to just shoot straight into the base. Miners will attack anything. They aren't just a defense targeting troop, so you've got to clear everything. If you can use, let's say, a minion in order to take out a couple of buildings, that can obviously be helpful. It can help to path your queen to a certain area. Do not forget the stone slammer. Using that in order to help with pathing for your miners is also good. You can see that being reinforced from the bottom here in order to take out a couple of defenses alongside the king and just help the miners through. Now, why is this attack so overpowering? We have a Lava Hound in the clan castle. If you have had a scout attack and you know that there's a Lava Hound in there, it's not going to do anything to the miners, so you're pretty much good to go. Even if the queen, and the king for that matter, is in the center of the base, it doesn't matter. You can take them out because the miners, again, will attack anything. The fact that we are able to control them just straight through the base onto the defenses, using the heal spells to keep them right within that range, is just brilliant. The pathing was perfect for miners. It is all about using that king and queen, and check it out. 2 heal, a haste, and a poison, all swagged, all going to come in at the end, really just to celebrate 4 toxic rabbits. A brilliant attack, and I hope that this one has been a little bit different, sharing with you some strategies that you really should be paying attention to. But if you want to see 7 more traditional strategies, be sure to check out this video, guys. It really does go into a bit more depth for them, but that wraps it up. Until next time, peace out.